Hi there, dear students. This is Khaldoon Mufti. In this introductory video, I'm going to discuss some topics related to pragmatics as a field of linguistics. So please stay tuned. Pragmatics is a field that is studied in linguistics, which is concerned with the intended meaning of a speaker. According to Yule, pragmatics is the study of the contextual meaning communicated by a speaker and interpreted by a listener. Or Charles Morris defines pragmatics as the relation of signs to their interpreters. So, with the pragmatics, we are trying to define the linguistic forms and its users. Only pragmatics allows humans into the analysis, their assumptions, purposes, goals, and actions they perform while speaking. Pragmatics is the field that is mainly studied by pragmatics. In order to become a pragmatic competent, you need to focus on one of these concepts, or sometimes you need all of them to understand a message. For example, to become pragmatic competent, you need to think about the context, the nonverbal communication, the settings where something's said. Sometimes you move on to the utterance interpretation because speakers sometimes use something or uses something as a referent to allow you to infer something more than what is said. Okay? So pragmatics is the study of speaker meaning, what people mean by their utterances, rather than what the words or phrases might mean by themselves. For example, a speaker could use one word that denotes a lot of number of interpretation depending on the context, the physical context, because according to Yule, in fact, there are two types of context, one which is called linguistic context and the other called physical context. So the study of contextual meaning is mainly dealt by pragmatics or pragmaticians. It also intensifies the importance of the context in the interpretation of an utterance. What is the context to the pragmatic field? In fact, it is the circumstances and the audience or public. So it includes the settings, circumstances, time, place, audience, and public. An entity, it is surrounded by many factors to understand a message. So the individuality plays an important role in understanding a message. For example, two friends are walking together and someone asks the other one, "Did you see the blue today?" The blue here cannot be interpreted unless you are in the circumstance and the physical context with the shared knowledge by a speaker and listener. Another concept within the pragmatics is the inferences. Inferences usually made by listeners or readers in order to arrive at an interpretation of the intended meaning. Sometimes the speakers use references in order to allow a listener understand someone or something inside their utterances or their message. So a great deal of what is unsaid is recognized as a part of what is communicated. Again, pragmatics also sometimes called the study of the invisible meaning. All of these, in fact, are dealt within the chapter of pragmatics by Yule. Another important aspect is the study of expression of relative distance. Sometimes we use closeness and distance in order to position ourselves from our listeners. For example, if you use an example like let's go inside, it means that you are outside of a building or something and you're asking the interlocutor to follow you inside a place. So here we are using the closeness and distance expressions in order to position ourselves with our interlocutors. And your listener would say, probably, I don't want to go inside. Here, the listener is rejecting your offer of going inside. And you continue, why not? Why do you not want to go inside? I'm tired. I don't want to because I'm tired. Here, if you could read the examples in red, in fact, they are relative distance expressions used by speakers and listeners to understand each other. Well, in other words, pragmatics studies how people make sense of each other linguistically. When we study pragmatics, we always refer to semantics, which is another field of linguistics that deals with the interpretation of an utterance or sentence. Semantics is related to the study of the relationship between words and their entries in the dictionaries, while pragmatics studies the relationship between words and the object out in the outside world. So it is not only dealing with things inside the linguistic paradigm, it goes beyond that. Whenever you try to do a parallel study between semantics and pragmatics, you come to the conclusion that pragmatics mainly position itself to study how something is understood, communicated without, sometimes without the knowledge of some special words. As such, if two friends in a conversation may imply some things and infer some others without providing any clear linguistic evidence, we need pragmatics to make sense of what the people have in their minds. It could allow us to have a clear picture of what is unsaid. This is the first episode about pragmatics. I will continue later. And thank you for listening. See you next time. Bye bye.